Greetings. Animal-Drone Biomechanical System (ABBES) for sustainable farming in the Cundiboyacense Andean region of Colombia is a thesis submitted for the degree of Master of Science in Agricultural Engineering to the National University of Colombia. The use of workhorses at local and national level agriculture can generate opportunities for sustainable development, with protection of soils against erosion and compaction, reduced fuel consumption, and generation of less costly energy, and the fostering of employment opportunities for the non-qualified traditional rural labor force. The problem, in essence, is the low productivity among small farmers and labor force. The use of animal traction for tillage, forage, and crop production, etc., with the traditional employment of oxen has been declining over the years. The regional agriculture is highly dependent on non-qualified hand laborers and the use of traditional agricultural hand tools. Additionally, there is a growing concern for the exodus of younger farmers towards urban centers in search of employment opportunities and better quality of life. The use of tractors is deteriorating the soils and causing water and wind erosion. Regarding the use of workhorses, there has not been a highly significant role due to a lack of a workhorse culture. The purpose of the study was to determine the viability of using draft horses in the Andean region of Colombia from an agricultural, socioeconomic, energy, and environmental perspective. The main question to answer was, can we use in the Andean region workhorses for agricultural production, and how? A modular concept known as the Animal-Drone Biomechanical System (ADBES) was used for the study. It was composed of a work cart with a hydraulic system and a chisel plow, and 2 draft horses with collar harnesses. Additionally, we added a data logger with 2 sensors, one to measure working depth and the other to measure draft forces. The ABBES initial design capacity was for working in a commercial farm of approximately 20 hectares and a 3-horse hedge. The Smurf was a great accessory for determining the work capacity of the 2 workhorses. It helped monitor a few aspects of the horse's physiology, as well as the chisel plow's depth and draft forces. Much was learned from the interaction between the both of them. We used the Polar M400 Sport Watch with Equine Belt for monitoring the horse's vital signs. The visualization of the animal's traveling information was most impressive because you can see the actual work. With the GPS capability, you can actually tell where the system is operating and time on station. In this particular slide, we can observe the direction and the spacing of the passes in 2 fields. Table 1 shows a strong correlation between the variables draft force and potency. The shear resistance tool selected for determining the level of soil compaction was based on the understanding or the assumption that the chisel plow was used for cutting and bursting through the soil, and this type of tool was most appropriate for doing this job. The Andean region is a challenging environment for agricultural work due to its high altitudes and harsh climate. Our animals perform well in different locations under similar weather, altitude, temperature conditions. This region is the most populated in Colombia, and food security has become of utmost importance. The maps are used for placing the testing areas within a geographical reference where the 5 experimental units are located near and around the city of Bogota. Results from experimental unit number 2 reflect the soil's condition at the time of performing the field work. These results were considered the most optimal for this trial. The experimental field has been used for forest production for the past 9 years and has been chisel plowed once a year for the past 7 years. Horse manure mixed with quicklime has been added twice a year as the primary fertilizer for the pastures. The video shows a typical run of Ambient just to give you an idea of how the system works. The graph shows the 3 tested variables: heart rate, speed, and draft force. The graph also shows the peaks and valleys, indicating when the chisel plow entered or was lifted from the ground when turning at the head rows. We would like to conclude that the animal traction concept and technology can be a useful tool for supporting and fostering any scheme of agriculture and rural development project in the entire region. This is a partial list of literature consulted for this study. This concludes my presentation. Thank you for attending. Now we can entertain some questions.